Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's another day and another edition of the press today on your Pan-African television. We kickstart in South Africa. We'll be looking at Business Day. Business Day South Africa reports that South African Breweries SAB and its 13 distributors could face renewed allegations of retail maintenance, market division, and entry into exclusive agreement after the Competition Commission on Wednesday won an appeal to have its case against the brewer heard. The paper also says that South African government on Wednesday announced an immediate review of minimum wages for our farm workers as part of a deal in which trade unions representing striking Western Cape farm workers agreed to return to work. Have more details of this stories on Business Day Africa. Still in South Africa, we'll be looking at Cape Times. According to Cape Times South Africa, farm workers have suspended their strike for a fortnight, while Labour Minister Mildred Oliphant reviews their minimum wage of 70 rand a day. Still in the paper, police are said to have shot dead a farm worker and wounded 6 others as a wage strike in the Boland escalated on Wednesday. However, it was not certain if the police used live ammunition or rubber bullets. Read on Cape Times South Africa for better understanding. Looking at Business Day Nigeria, according to Business Day Nigeria, Nigerian GSM and other telephone subscribers will be able to migrate from one network to another and still retain their telephone numbers after a successful test run of the number portability project, which will commence next month. In another development, 11 stockbroking firms at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, NSE, have had their license revoked, according to the status of dealing member firms as at 30th September 2012. Have more details on Business Day Nigeria. Looking at the Post newspaper from Zambia, the paper states that opposition MMD Deputy National Secretary Chemba Nyangu says the UPND did not spend any money in the just ended Mufumbwe by-elections campaign. The paper also writes that over 100,000 Americans have petitioned the White House to allow their states to secede from the U.S. after President Barack Obama's re-elections. Report says that majority of the 20 states with petitions voted for the Republican contender Mitt Romney. Now taking you to Zimbabwe, we'll be looking at the Zimbabwe. The paper writes that widows and children of slain MDCT activists living in poverty have accused the party of not giving them any support. According to a survey, the families of victims of political violence are struggling to feed themselves and suffer limited access to social services. In another instance, the paper says that Operation Nyinka Hendi Protect Zimbabwe, launched to drum up support for the party in Chikumba, has flopped after villagers boycotted meeting addressed by top army personnel, war veterans, and local political leaders. Taking you to Asia, we'll be looking at the famous Wall Street Journal. In the paper, it's written that the new Communist Party leadership that files onto a crimson dais in the Great Hall of the People on Thursday will comfort a daunting array of problems, chief of which is a slowing economy. However, the Politburo Standing Committee under incoming party chief Xi Jinping has been formed not through policy debate or popularity polls, but through secretive negotiating and plotting among outgoing leaders and retired party elders. The journal also writes that Japan's embattled prime minister pledged to dissolve parliament and call snap elections next month, a contest that polls suggest his deeply unpopular ruling party is likely to lose. Taking you to Gulf News, the Gulf newspaper says that the Israeli military on Wednesday said its assassination of the Hamas military commander marks the beginning of an operation against Gaza militants. Following Wednesday, a strike that killed Ahmad al-Jabari, head of the Hamas military wing, Israel pounded Gaza Strip with more than 20 airstrikes. Still in the paper, most of Jordan's 620 schools were on Wednesday closed as the country's teachers went on an open-ended strike, joining protests that have spread across the country following the removal of fuel subsidies. Read on the Gulf newspaper for better understanding of these stories. We wrap up in With this paper from Europe, the Wall Street Journal, according to the journal, it's written that Israeli airstrikes killed Hamas top military commander, leaving at least 6 others dead in the largest offensive against the Palestinian Islamic militant group in 4 years. Israel military as well launched dozens of attacks on other Hamas commanders and weapons storage sites in the Gaza Strip. The paper also reports that UK regulatory officials are pushing to ensure that the still unfolding interest rate fixing scandal does not become synonymous with London's breaking industry. If you want to better understand the story, read more on Wall Street Journal Europe. This brings us to the end of the press today on your Pan-African television. To hang on AFRIQUE Media for more information or follow our programs online on www.afriquemedia.tv.